Hey everyone, welcome. In this quick explainer, we're going to learn how to play Planet. It's a really cool world-building game for 2 to 4 players, and it only takes about 30 minutes. So let's dive right in.
So here's what we'll cover. First, what's the goal? Then we'll jump into game setup, how to play a turn, how you win the game, and I'll wrap things up with a few quick tips.
Alright, first things first. What's the main objective in Planet?
Your goal really is to create the most vibrant planet you can. You'll be placing these continent tiles over 12 turns, trying to attract as much animal life as possible.
And it's pretty straightforward. The winner is simply the player with the most points when the game ends.
Okay, so now let's get this game set up and ready to go.
Alright, setup. First, everybody gets a planet core. Then, you're going to shuffle the natural habitat cards and deal 1 to each player, face down. This is your secret objective, so keep it hidden. Next, shuffle up all those continent tiles and make 10 little piles with 5 tiles in each. After that, draw 20 animal cards and lay them out face up, just like you see in the rulebook. And last but not least, the youngest player gets the first player token.
So the whole game is played over 12 turns, and each turn has the same basic rhythm. Let's take a look at how a round works.
Okay, before we get into the turn itself, there's a really important distinction you need to know. The difference between an area and a region. An area is just one of those little triangular spaces on a tile, but a region is a group of connected areas of the same habitat type. Getting this right is absolutely crucial, because it's how you'll attract animals.
Every single turn has 2 phases. Phase 1 is adding continents, and Phase 2 is called Origin of Life.
So in Phase 1, adding continents, you'll start by revealing the 5 tiles from the current turn's pile. The first player gets to choose 1 tile and immediately places it on their planet. Then, going clockwise, everyone else picks 1 tile. You just pop your chosen tile onto any empty spot on your planet core. Easy.
Now for Phase 2, Origin of Life. This phase doesn't actually start until the 3rd turn, but from turn 3 onward, it happens every single round. And this is when the animals start showing up.
So, what do? Well, you look at this turn's animal card and ask yourself, does my planet meet its requirements? Everyone checks at the same time.
The first kind of requirement is pretty simple, having the most separate regions of a certain habitat. So, for example, the panda wants to go to the planet that has the most individual forest regions, no matter how big they are.
The second type is about having the largest single region of one habitat that's also touching another specific type. Think of the elephant. It's looking for the player with the biggest desert region that's right next to a mountain.
And then there's the third type, which is kind of the opposite. It's about having the largest region of a habitat that does not touch another specific type. So a reindeer might want the planet with the largest glacier region that is nowhere near a desert.
So, what happens if there's a tie? Good question. If 2 or more players are tied for an animal, nobody gets it. At least, not right away. The card just moves over to the next turn's column, so it can be won then. Just a heads up though, there are some special tiebreaker rules that only apply on the very last turn.
And that's pretty much the turn. At the end, you just pass the first player token to the player on your left, and you're ready for the next round.
Okay, fast forward 12 turns. Your planet is built, it's full of life, hopefully. Now let's figure out who won.
So, when the game ends after that 12th turn, it's scoring time. First, everyone flips over their secret natural habitat objective card. You'll score points based on how many areas of that habitat you have. After that, you'll score points for every single animal card you picked up during the game.
But here's where it gets really interesting with the animal scoring. For any animal you collected whose habitat matches your secret objective, you get 1 point. But for every animal whose habitat doesn't match your objective, you get 2 points. It creates this great little puzzle where you have to balance what you want versus what scores big.
You just add up all your points from your habitat objective and from your animals, and whoever has the most points is the winner. And if you're still tied, the player with the most animal cards takes the win.
Before we wrap this up, I've got a few quick tips that should really help you out in your first game.
First, for your very first game, I'd recommend playing without the natural habitat cards. It just makes things a little simpler. Every animal is worth 1 point, period. Also, don't forget that you can and you should look at what other people are building on their planets. And finally, plan ahead. All the future animal cards are visible, so you can see what's coming up and try to build your planet accordingly.
And there you have it. That's everything you need to know to play Planet. You've got the rules, so now you're ready to go out there and create the winning planet. Have fun!